But then the situation in this country was very bad in those days. As I told you, the government of India gave 120 scholarships a year. Some of them started returning from Europe or America after 3 years, 48, 49, so, with doctorates. Some of them had double doctorates also. They had a doctorate already before they came to England. They had a doctorate in one of the Indian universities. They acquired another doctorate in America or England. When they went back, they couldn't get any jobs. I heard a lot of reports of, we had, for example, a classic example of a Professor N.V. Subbarao. He later became a professor, but at that time he was Dr. N.V. Subbarao. He was a lecturer in the Andhra University with a DSc degree. He was the first class at the time when he studied. He was a lecturer. He resigned that and took a Government of India scholarship. Came to England, took a doctorate degree at Imperial College, London. Went back. He could get a job for almost a year. He was almost a year. He had a wife and 2 kids by then. His brother was supporting them. And the brother said, I can't keep on supporting you, because he himself was not in a very good job. So N.V. Subbarao actually came to my brother Narasimham in Pachapas College, said, can you please at least give me a demonstrator's post? That was the type of thing I heard about a number of people, that they are returned to India but not getting jobs. Although the government of India had a bond from all of them, that if they give a job, they must work for 5 years in this job. But there was no reverse guarantee that they will definitely give a job. So they were all released from the bond. Sorry, we don't have a job for you, you can go anywhere you like. So I was very scared to come back to India. But I was not wanting to stay on in England. I was wavering. Now, while I was in England, there was a new situation created. You know, I told you earlier that I worked under Dr. Bhagavantam for my MSc degree. At the end of it, he simply told me he doesn't want me with him anymore. So that is how we parted, almost like enemies. He came to England as an employee of the India High Commission. He was the first scientific liaison officer in England for India. He had the India High Commission. His job was to keep in touch with scientific institutions in Britain and Europe, receive scientists from India, eminent scientists who come from India, and then take them to various places, arrange their itinerary. So, when he came, a number of his students who were at the Andhra University and now in the UK, we all joined together and gave him a welcome party. I also attended that party. And after that, we just left him alone, because he was, as a principal, in those days, he was very unpopular. As a professor, he was great. But as principal, he had to take very tough decisions. Very anti-student or anti-teacher like that. So nobody liked him. So we all avoided it. There are some circumstances, I don't want to go into the T.N. Ramchandran and all that. But I had to go to Dr. Bhagavantam again after 6 weeks after his arrival, in connection with some other work. Then he asked me, what, Krishnamurthi, even you have forsaken me. I was surprised. This was the gentleman who said, I will not have anything to do with you. I will not recommend you to anybody. And now he says, why have you not come and seen me? But anyway, that was a very fortunate circumstance for me, my career. I became very close to Dr. Bhagavantam in that 1 year that he was in England. I used to dine with him almost 3 times a week. Spend weekends with him. He used to have a flat where he used to cook his own food. He was a very good cook. So I had very good Indian meals also. And we used to roam around. As a matter of fact, we became so close. One day he told me, I am going to Oxford today. Evening I will be back by 7 o'clock or so. You come and have dinner. So I went to his flat a little before he arrived from Oxford. The flat manager knew me very well as a frequent visitor. So he admitted me to Dr. Bhagavantam's flat. I was sitting there and then Dr. Bhagavantam arrived. And the flat manager told him, sir, your son is here. In those days, Dr. Bhagavantam was actually expecting that his son may come. So he was wondering whether really the son had come without even telling him beforehand. Then I shouted from inside the flat that, sir, it is me, not the other Balakrishna, I have come. So he came inside and hugged me and said, yes, you are like my son and all that. So we became very close after that. When he went back after 1 year in 1949, he left Andhra University, joined Usman University as a professor of physics. He was highly regarded by the vice chancellor there, and he was given a lot of facilities, a lot of money to set up a good physics laboratory, research laboratory, and so on. So he sent a message to me through my father that you don't worry about a job. When you come back, you must come back, and I have a job for you whenever you come. So with that assurance, I decided I will. He never told me what the job is or at what level, but he said there will be a job for you. That was enough for me because I was anxious to come back. I came back in 50 January. On 26 January 1950, I was in Karachi. I went about Karachi in a horse-drawn, like Victoria or something, along with some 3 English travelers. We all traveled together by sea again for 14 days. I had some very interesting company. I'll tell you one little incident. On the first day on a ship, you have to choose your dining table. Every table will have 4 or 5 passengers. Like that, there will be a number of tables. You have to sit at one table and that will be your table throughout the journey. So I found one table where there was only one man and 3 or 4 chairs vacant. So I went to him and said, may I sit here? Well, you may not want to sit here if you know who I am, he said. I don't see how it matters who you are. But I am a Pathoon, that is a northwest frontier, tribal type. I said I only know 2 people from that part of the world. One is Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan, and the other is his brother, Dr. Khan Sahib. I have great admiration for them. So I have no objection to sitting with you. Then he told me, I am the son of Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan.
Wow. He's also so tall, is that?
Khan Abdul Wali Khan.
Like
So for 14 days, he, myself, and an English doctor who was also going to Peshawar, we became very good friends. And I also made friends with a number of young Englishmen who were coming as tea estate managers in the eastern side of India, in Bengal, Assam, and so on. So at Karachi, Khan Abdul Wali Khan left the boat. But the other Englishmen, they had to travel, they had to come, go to Calcutta. So they traveled with me to Bombay. And so we went around Karachi that day in a horse-drawn cart. And after 2 days, we were in Bombay. Then I realized that on 26th January 1950, there was a serious Hindu-Muslim riots in Karachi, in the very areas where I was roaming. They were protesting against apparently, the implementation of the Indian Constitution. I don't know what problem they had with our Constitution. Anyway, I reached Bombay. My father was then a professor at Bombay. So I stayed with him for a few days. There was a peculiar quarters. He was living in rented accommodation. There was a row of houses. No house had a toilet. All the toilets were separately in a block. So all the residents of these block of houses had to go there if they wanted to ease themselves anyway. So anyway, that was the type of accommodation they lived in, my father and mother. Next to them was, I think, the editor of Indian Express or some paper there. They were all very good friends. My mother used to go every day in the suburban train to some part of Bombay along with her friends and so on. But even before I left India, I had to go to Bombay to get into the ship. My experience with Bombay then itself told me I will never work in Bombay. And this has made me even more determined not to work in Bombay. I went back to Hyderabad. I went to Madras, Hyderabad, Bangalore. I even went to Gorakhpur where your parents were. But Lakshmi was not there at the time. She was in Benares preparing for the exam or something. Oh, the great thing about Dr. Bhagavantam was I met him. And he told me, I have a job for you anytime you want. But I don't want you to bind yourself to me. I would like you to go around the country, meet people, see if you can get a better job, you go. I have no objection. But rest assured that anytime you decide to join me, I will be happy to have you. And you know what the job was? It was the job of junior research assistant. That is, it was about 2 steps below a lecturer's post. Mind you, by then I had done my MSc. I had finished 3 years in Madras in the government radio laboratory. Then I had spent another 2.5 years in England, specializing in electronics. I was offered a post as a junior research assistant. Well, even that was supposed to be a great opportunity, you see. But one thing he did, he gave me the maximum salary in that post. He offered to give me the maximum salary, which was equal to that of a lecturer's salary. Anyway, I went round the country. I met Baba. I met K.S. Krishnan. I used to know K.S. Krishnan reasonably well because he used to frequently visit London, stay with Dr. Bhagavantam. And we used to have dinner together and all that. But all of them told me they will advertise for post sometime or the other. I went and saw the chief engineer All India Radio. I went to Ahmedabad, Dr. K.R. Raman, physical research laboratory. They all said there will be an interview sometime. You apply for the post, and I was not sure whether I will get it. So I decided around May that year that I will join Dr. Bhagavantam. I told him like that. I joined him on June 26th, 1950. From then till 69 October, we worked together. I was like Mary's little lamb. Wherever Mary went, I also went. So Dr. Bhagavantam was professor of physics, and after 2 years he became the vice chancellor of the university, but continued to be professor and director of the. He set up a separate research laboratory called physical laboratory. I was the only employee in that. I got a promotion as senior research assistant after 2 years. That was the same grade as a lecturer. So I was a senior research assistant under the vice chancellor, who was also director of physical laboratory. We did a lot of good physics research. We used to attract a lot of foreign visitors also to our laboratory. Apart from many Indian universities, they used to send people. It was a very versatile laboratory. Dr. Bhagavantam set up doctorate level research in about 15 or 16 different branches. And we won a great reputation for doing very good work in India. And when I first joined him, he said, "You don't need a doctorate, you have no much experience, background, this and that. You don't need a PhD. Only you help my other PhD students with their work."